Virat Kohli is gearing up for IPL duty. The Bengaluru franchise is making noise leading up to yet another year of hoping that the cup will come home at least this time. Kohli recently spoke at an RCB event to a massive crowd gathered hanging on to every word he spoke. And while he did touch upon various topics like his own impending retirement, the disappointment of losing to Australia, the Champions Trophy win, the one topic that has struck hard is Kohli speaking on the importance of family travelling on the tours. Now, what he said has reopened the debate on whether BCCI's diktat really works for the Indian cricketers and holds any water. Will that stay and stand the test of time? That loss to Australia really kicked up quite a storm in the dressing room and outside of it. The criticism, the rage, the opinions, and all of that flying about. And then, of course, the BCCI 10-point agenda coming. While everyone appreciated the board for trying to bring discipline into the camp, the biggest sore point was them docking the families, the wives, the partners travelling with the cricketers. And when asked about this, Kohli was candid and brutally honest, clearly standing opposite the BCCI in this regard.
It is very difficult to explain to people how grounding it is to just come back to your family every time you have something intense which happens on the outside. I don't want to go to my room and just sit alone and sulk. I want to be able to be normal. Then you can really treat your game as something that is a responsibility.
Now, it comes from someone who's seen the highs and the lows of international cricket for decades now. While an individual sport is lonely, and we've seen people talk about this over and over again, and with focus on mental health only increasing, maybe team sport can be just as lonely. Kohli will attest to that. He's spoken out about the mental fatigue and how depressing it can really get. The time when Kohli's form hit a low and his wife Anushka Sharma was being targeted and trolled constantly for it. They had to be there for each other. No one else could have pulled Kohli out of the darkness then. All a cricketer ever wants to do, in Kohli's words, is to just switch off after the game and be with his family after what could be a bad game, a rough night, or celebrating a fantastic performance. You want to be able to share all of that with the person who matters the most in your life. Something Rohit Sharma gave away mistakenly when his audio got leaked before a press conference.
Now I have to sit another hour and a half after this. We'll have to sit down with the secretary to discuss a few things about the family and other stuff. Now everyone is telling me.
He very clearly is telling the chief of selector, Ajit Agarkar, right at that point, that this particular rule will not go down too well and will not be accepted by the rest of the team, him included. Now, we saw the perspective of the cricketer who simply wants the family by his side after a game to unwind. What's the other side to this? Most cricketers in the Indian national squad are married and have children or are on the way to having kids. Either ways, there are commitments to make and promises to keep. It isn't just about the partnership Rohit Sharma creates and makes on the cricket field, but also maintaining and keeping his end of the deal to whatever extent possible in the partnership he's made of it. A partnership that will and has helped and only continue to do so in shaping the leader that Rohit Sharma has turned out to be. Because let's face it, truth is Indian cricketers, unlike most others globally, play more cricket through the year. They are away for longer periods of time and they somehow need to find ways to spend time with family. The other side to this, of course, the opposing argument which we've been given, family always will distract, the focus goes away, and the point is to be disciplined and just stay on the path during a tour throughout. But would they be mentally happier and stronger if they had their partners and their special someone by their side? Would their anxieties and stress be lessened if they entered a hotel room to find their families at the end of a tough, long day? That's something to think about.
Firstpost brings you the Ideas Pod at the Raisina Dialogue 2025, the largest gathering of global policymakers, thought leaders, and innovators, now on the fastest growing international news platform. Big ideas, big debates, big impact. Only at the Ideas Pod.
Raisina Hill.
Firstpost gives you front row access to the conversations that matter most. The Ideas Pod. Raisina Dialogue 2025 on Firstpost. From March 17th to March 19th.